Welcome to the iKnowBadeaux podcast.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the iKnowBadeaux podcast. Coming at ya from the local 218 studios. I'm here with my brother.
Das Flutenduten.
You can't talk after the clip. You don't. No, you talk during the clip. I delete what you say, and we just say Das Flutenduten until we all go blue in the face. Wow. Hey, look, it's Gabe Johnson.
Dave, how are you?
I'm excellent. Life is good.
Life is great.
That's awesome. We're going to get right into this week because we are trying to shorten up the intros. We got a problem with...
Can't get much shorter than we are right now if we get into it.
We're going right into it. Don't tell Scotty he does the news.
Plane forced to make emergency landing on golf course. Golfers push it off the green so they can finish the hole.
Of course they did. They got skin in the game.
Mind if we play through?
Yes, the wild scene happened in Del Tura Golf and Country Club in North Fort Myers, where a small plane was forced to make an emergency landing on the 9th green. Fortunately, no one was hurt, including the pilot, who was the lone person on the aircraft. Oh, Jesus. Tweets.
Yeah.
Tweets.
Oh, no.
Well, Lee County Sheriff's Office deputies responded to the Del Tura Golf Course in North Fort Myers this morning for an emergency plane landing. The pilot was the only occupant on the board and was uninjured. The plane was moved off the course by golfers.
What in the hell was that all about?
There's pictures out of the...
Regurgitated what you just said.
Yeah. That's why just straight from
Yep.
But why?
the first paragraph
What
of
was
the article
what was the issue?
to the tweets.
What prompted the emergency landing?
It's an airplane. It's in the sky. It's coming down.
Stay in the sky.
I would say anything...
I would simply stay in the sky till I got to the airport.
It's a goal. It's the goal of most airplanes. I would say any impromptu landing is an emergency landing with an airplane. It's like, hey, we're landing. By the way,
I see a straight line of grass there.
Yeah.
We're going down to it.
That looks great. That looks perfect.
I will say this, though. I know a lot about golf course. I actually used to work at a golf course. The summer after high school, I worked at a golf course. Doing maintenance, by the way. If you can imagine, you've got your hole on the golf course. Typically, that hole ends with the green. So if the plane ended up on the green, we're running out of space here. I mean, worst case scenario, you run into a sand trap at the end.
Well, worst case, you're in the lake.
Yeah, water hazard.
There's a lot of things at the end of the green, and usually it's trees and swamps, lakes, oceans. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody seems to have talked about why the plane needed to make the emergency landing.
But they finished the hole. All is good.
More importantly, who won?
Steve.
The pilot.
Yeah. The pilot. Yeah, I like it.
A naked man arrested at Shag Point
Vice versa.
was asked to put on clothes by police, who promptly found 3 ounces of methamphetamine when they searched him.
Where? He was naked.
I'll give you like 4 guesses.
You're going to need one.
Foreskin.
This is behind his eyes.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I just saw the headline, Naked Man Arrested at Shag Point.
Yeah.
Seemed interesting.
I got to hear both sides.
You do. And, you can't show up to Shag Point solo. This is not a solo operation.
Or with clothes on.
Yeah. Well, take the clothes off when you get there, typically.
Senior Sergeant Anthony Bond said officers conducted a random traffic stop on State Highway 1 near Shag Point. Officers spoke to the passenger of the vehicle, a 40-year-old man who was naked due to the heat. Checks were done, and it was found the man had a warrant out for his arrest. As a result, he was placed under arrest and asked to put his clothes on. Once dressed, he was searched by police, and officers located 3 ounces of methamphetamine in his clothes.
That's a
So
mistake
they
on
made him
his
get
part.
dressed and then found his
Yeah,
drugs.
That's a mistake on his part.
I'm not putting, those aren't my pants.
Yeah, Keep the clothes on.
Yeah.
Just take your public indecency.
I have no idea
or
where those
whatever.
pants came from.
I have not wore pants since 1975. Also, passenger, if I'm driving with one of you two fucks
It's hot.
and you start saying it's too hot and just get completely buck-ass naked, yeah. And he probably started swerving just to make sure he got pulled over.
Yeah, somebody get.
Somebody help me.
Help!
Yeah, surprised to find that the meth was not in his ass.
That's where you assumed it was. You know, it wasn't between his toes.
No, turned out it was in his pants pocket.
You know, the problem with meth, there's a lot of problems, but the biggest problem with meth is that you don't realize that you're putting the meth back on before you're getting searched. That's you're sober. You're not making that mistake, I don't think.
No, when you're on meth, I assume you don't think about it.
All bets
All bets are off.
and
bets are off.
clothes.
Yeah.
Send it
clothes.
to the pigeon. Send it with the pigeon.
Send it with the pigeon. That's great. What an idiot. And I want to know more about the guy driving. You know, like,
Yeah, right.
I assume it's a guy, but it could have been a gal. I don't know. I don't want to gender the driver. What's going on there? It's
Well, the driver knew that the passenger had 3 ounces of meth. So they wanted to hang out with clothes on.
well, they were probably high too. Anyways, next.
Japanese zoo solves mystery of isolated gibbon's pregnancy.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
A little hole in a board is to blame.
Oh no. She's been gibbon it? I'm sorry. He's been gibbon it?
Yep. Isolated Lar gibbon named Momo gave birth in February 2021, surprising the zookeepers at Kujukushima Zoo in Botanical Garden, Morikirara, blah, 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 places, as the monkey had been living in her own enclosure without any males present. According to officials, Momo was fiercely protective of her young, so it took them nearly 2 years to gather enough samples of the mother and child's stool and excrement for DNA analysis. It's the difference between stool and excrement.
It's a little bit less.
Stool is in the right place.
Excrement is like the
Thrown.
tra-
And the
yeah.
second it leaves your hand, it becomes excrement. Or is it the second it goes into your hand?
It's like a comet. There's the comet and there's the trail.
Okay. Another active gibbon who is 34 years old was identified as the father of the male infant, although zookeepers said the 2 monkeys were never on display together.
Right. That monkey sat there and said, "It ain't freaking mine. I have not seen her in my life."
You notice the wall?
They found a perforated board with holes around 9 millimeters in diameter between Momo's exhibit and the backyard.
Oh, he has got to be ashamed.
You can't be sticking it through a pegboard. Unbelievable.
That's only 9 millimeters. No way is that.
Yeah. Those aren't my pants. There's no way I fit in there. That ain't my kid.
I would love to see the trial where this monkey defends itself. If the glove don't fit.
A sturdy steel plate has now taken the place of the board. In order for Aitu, Momo, and their child to live together as a family, officials claimed they are now preparing to try and introduce them officially.
No.
Oh, they've been
Yeah, they've been introduced.
They have cardinal knowledge of one another. But
Yeah, about 9 millimeters worth.
almost a centimeter.
Almost so close. Just call it a centimeter, guys. Round up for the guy.
But yeah, seriously. I mean, in terms of penises, give the guy. You don't have to give him an inch.
Yeah.
But give him a centimeter. Oh, poor guy.
Yeah. He got some.
Yeah, but then he got embarrassed by it. Like it didn't end the way he thought it was going to end. He wasn't ready to be a father. We know this.
He's only 34 years
Yeah,
old.
if I know anything about gibbons, once they hit 34, they're not looking to be dads.
Yeah, they want a Porsche.
Well, this one does.
This guy needs multiple Porsches.
Is that the next throwback to the last news segment where evidently penis size does in fact determine whether or not you're sad and want Porsches? Is that the way they're going to start doing the test
Only if
now?
you're told, did anybody tell him 9 millimeters is pitiful?
No, there was just a board with a bunch of holes
said,
in
wow.
it. There was a board with a bunch of holes in it, and he was like, "Oh, that's mine." Aw.
And they said, no, be careful with that thing. You're going to poke somebody's eye out.
Okay, making fun of him.
Well,
Making fun of monkey penises.
to be fair, I'll admit that when you said gibbons, I was thinking like a little bird. I'm thinking a penguin. I thought I just saw a little bird waddling over to a board. Oh,
Nope.
gibbon. Monkeys are weird. Monkeys are very weird creatures. Are you seeing the next? Okay, well, next.
Chilpancingo Zoo director killed 4 rare pygmy goats and turned them into tacos.
The director of the zoo. You had one job. One job. And it was not to make tacos.
Out of rare pygmy goats.
Wow.
A holiday party at a Mexican zoo took a morbid twist when the director allegedly killed 4 of the facility's pygmy goats and served them as food to guests.
To everyone else? Oh, no.
At the holiday party.
Oh, no. Is there a worse thing you can do I mean, yes, there is. Yes, there is. But pretty bad. I mean, that's a big FU type of move, isn't it? Like you're purposely, you have to be doing that on purpose as a FU.
No, it's probably like somebody who donated $1 million said, I kind of want to know what that tastes like. All right. Come to the Christmas party.
Yeah, all right.
Jose Ruben Nava headed a zoo in Chilpancingo, the capital of the southwestern state of Guerrero. He was replaced on January 12th after authorities discovered what he'd done. These 4 animals were slaughtered and cooked on the zoo's premises and were served as food at the end of the year party. This put the health of the people who ate them at risk because these animals were not fit for human consumption.
Because they were rare.
Yeah.
I think humans eat goats.
Yeah, right. That's what I thought when I was reading it. I was like, well, elaborate, please, because sure sounds like I can eat that.
Yeah.
It's just a smaller goat.
Pygmy goats, while somewhat similar to the common breed widely found and used in food, are smaller, stocky, and rare. It's unclear if the guests were aware that they were eating zoo animals during the party or if any official charges have been filed against Nava. Authorities allege that along with the slaying of the goats, Nava engaged in the selling and trading of animals as well.
Yeah.
They specifically mentioned that a zebra was traded for tools that were supposedly needed for repairs around the facility.
It sounds like they're cash strapped.
Yeah, it sounds like this.
Yeah, they don't have any food either.
Doesn't necessarily sound like a zoo so much as we have a collection of animals. Everything's for sale.
Sell the zebra for tools. The tools were never found by the authorities. I presume it was at least one knife for killing it.
Maybe a barbecue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is a barbecue a tool? I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tool.
That's how you cook your meat.
Yeah, that's a tool.
Nava also allegedly gave at least 1 deer and 4 rare African Watusi cattle to private citizens. Several other creatures were also missing, including a jaguarundi.
You're saying it weird.
Which is a jaguar.
Saying what weird?
With a UNDI at the end. I have no idea what that is.
Sounds like a type of jaguar.
I bet it's not.
I bet it's
probably a bird.
It's probably a penguin.
A jaguarundi, a female coyote, 10 specimens of reptiles, a baby macaw, and a red-tailed hawk.
That are missing? You no longer have a zoo.
Is this a zoo?
Yeah, you no
or
longer
just
have
like
a zoo.
Animal dealership.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is. I think it's what they did is they just put up like a bunch of fencing and just caught whatever they could. You know, this isn't a legit zoo. There's no way.
Well, Nava gave his own press conference on Wednesday denying the allegations. He claimed that members of the Environmental Department were waging a dirty war against him because one of its top officials wanted his nephew to run the zoo instead of Nava.
So he didn't make tacos?
That's what he's saying.
Yeah, that wasn't me.
Yeah. Yeah.
What country was this?
Mexico, I think he said.
Sure sounded like it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you said Mexico at one point.
Mexican zoo.
And I was going to say, I'm really bad at that. You probably said South Africa, and I heard Mexico. So,
Well, it's who's the Ralphie May?
yes.
The really big comedian.
Yep.
He had a joke about how everything south of Texas is Mexico.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. It's
you
fair.
meet somebody. Oh, where are you from? Guatemala. Oh,
Mexico.
you're Mexican. Like, no, it's offensive. No, man. You're from Brazil? Yeah. Mexico.
Where do you slaughter multiple goats at a zoo and not have
It
someone...
sounds at this zoo. It sounds like wherever the fuck you want.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, I guess you probably, they probably have a kitchen where they got
The
to bring
closer
in meat.
to the grill, the better.
Yeah. Yeah, do you just lead them on a leash into the kitchen?
Come on, pygmy goat. Going in this way.
Well, in Mexico, they'll do like buried ovens.
Oh yeah.
Like dig a hole and
Yep.
build
So
a
you're just
fire
You're
underground.
just going into the
You just-
goat the goat environment and just digging a freaking hole.
Yeah.
Just going in
and then
the
just
exhibit.
pushing them in.
If we're killing all of them, you might as well just build the oven right there.
All right. Crazy. All right, next.
The Indiana State Senate passed a bill that would legalize throwing stars under certain conditions.
Yes.
Wait, they're not legal?
No, I don't think so.
Throwing stars are currently illegal in Indiana.
Oh, in
but
Indiana.
the bill, introduced by State Senator Linda Rogers, would lift that ban for recreational use. Star throwing is allowed in other states, where it's sometimes found at axe throwing businesses.
Sure. I think there should be a provision in there that says only if it's really sweet. Just
Yeah, it's got to
It's a ninja star.
Yeah.
They're all really sweet.
well, I disagree because I had 2 ninja stars as
Yeah.
a teenager.
Yeah. I lost one of
Yes,
those.
you did. Yes,
Threw
you
it at a
did.
tree into the woods.
He lost-
I missed the tree and it was gone forever.
He lost the cool one. There were 2. There was one that was just looked like your standard, like a video game, literal
4-point.
throwing. Yeah, 4-point throwing, more of a throwing square. Only they just kind of round it in. They call it a star. But the other one was like freaking sweet, and that's the one you lost. I should go find that. We just get a metal detector. It's out at Dad's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could tell you the general
Oh,
whereabouts.
let's go find it. We're gonna do this. We're
need
gonna have
an
an iKnowBadeaux investigative journalism to go find my fucking throwing star.
From literally 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Probably to the day.
I hope they're not illegal because I just
Bought 40 of them.
I hope
No.
they are illegal.
no, because I just gave 2 of them to Rob Lewis's kid. His son graduated from high school, and I'm like, hey,
You
I've
gifted him throwing stars?
no, it was
Where did you get them? Why did you have them?
why
How old are you?
I
You turned 40, you just had to buy some fucking ninja
no,
stars.
I had this shit from when I was a kid.
You don't call them throwing stars either, do you? You call them ninja stars.
Ninja stars. I do call them ninja stars. I do call them ninja stars. Who else throws a star? Only a ninja. So we were cleaning out some stuff. COVID period of time. Why is that so funny?
Why are you gifting ninjas?
Because I'm a 40-year-old man, and I was like, why do I have this? I went through a phase, and probably till I was like
40?
No. Well, to be fair, yes.
No later than that.
You say all this. However, my dad just dropped off a giant ass fucking sword at my house last weekend because he was cleaning out his basement, and he was like, "What do you want me to do with this 4-foot
the one that
sword?"
you almost killed my daughter with.
I didn't touch your daughter with a sword.
You were standing you had your back to the entry to a room as children were running around the house, and you went to lift up the sword.
Oh.
from like 6 o'clock to 3 o'clock.
This is why I don't
as children came running into the room, and it almost went straight into my daughter's eye.
This is why
Dave, gift the sword to somebody.
yeah.
it just showed up at my house again. So I had previously just gotten rid of all of my swords.
Congratulations for graduating high school. Here's some ninja stuff.
From the mayor of Brainerd.
Let's slow this whole operation down. I'm hoping that they are legal because during COVID we were cleaning out the house and I looked at this.
How many caches of ninja stars do you have?
I had a couple decorative swords that my brother had gotten me for gifts. Actually, no, one was from my ex-wife. It was pretty cool. It had like a Medusa head on. It was actually pretty cool. So I had about
I'm crying.
I had about 4 swords and a couple ninja stars, not throwing stars, ninja stars. Scott lost one of my stars when we were kids, and then during
You've been
COVID,
hoarding them ever since.
well, during COVID,
Yeah, ever since I'll never lose it.
they were just in boxes. I've just been
God
bringing.
forbid somebody throw a throwing star.
I think I've moved these swords like 5 times, and they've just sat in these boxes. And the conversation we had, that Callie and I had, was we have little kids. We can't have fucking throwing stars.
Throwing stars are for.
Yes, but also not your kids. So I decided I'm going to give it to somebody else's kid. But it wasn't that he graduated high school. He just happened to be like 18, and it was, hey, I believe I asked Rob's wife. I said, do you think your son would like some knives? I have weapons. Does your kid seems like the type that likes weapons? And I gifted it to him.
Specifically, weapons designed to soar through the air
Yeah.
at anything.
You're over here talking shit, but yet you're the one that lost the fucking throwing star because you were like, let's go fucking
Because you're
throw
supposed
this.
to throw the throwing star.
Let's
not-
go.
When you're 13 years old.
Look, I was gifted weapons. I never really displayed them or anything. They just sat in a box for years.
Somebody gifted you throwing stars.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know where the throwing
And
stars
in
came
their
them at the
honor,
Kelly
you
Fit.
said, I'm going to give these to someone else.
Once I was old enough and wise enough, I realized that I needed to
Not have throwing stars.
gift these to the younger, and much like knowledge, bestow the star of throwing upon the younger generation. But then it is funny that this comes up because literally last weekend my dad called and said, hey, I got to drop something off at your house. And then he showed up with a 4-foot fucking sword. And I was like, what am I going to do with this now? I just went through all of this, George.
I just gave away all my throwing stars
I
and
don't-
smoke bombs.
I don't. I don't know. Well, this will play, but this might be the best segment we've ever had.
Listen, I just got rid of my arsenal. I don't need to have you dropping off more arsenal.
Find a needy kid.
Yeah. Yeah, listeners, do you have a recent graduate? I've got a fucking sword.
If you or someone you know and been injured by a throwing star,
I do think though that we should go get a metal detector and go out to Dad's.
I
and
think
go
that's a
find
great
that-
idea.
Go find that fucking thing.
I'm in.
Because we could find it.
Oh, yeah,
it can't
absolutely.
be that hard to find.
no, I can tell you, where it is.
It's probably right. It's probably sitting right there.
I've looked a couple of times
Yeah?
over the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
I could tell you within I could probably give you a 10 yards squared. that
Yeah, we
look
can
at.
find this thing. I think we should go find it. I remember the day that I noticed that you lost the fucking thing. Because it's like,
We should find it. Mav is about to graduate high school in 2
yeah.
years. We gift it to him.
listen, my daughter graduates this year.
Oh, that's right. Let's give it to his. Let's find it before May.
I think she deserves a throwing star. I remember the day that I noticed that, there were 2. Now there's 1. Scott, where's my fucking throwing star?
Yeah, but they were in like a shoebox underneath a bunch of shit.
Yeah. That's where you put things like that. You don't.
You noticed way too quickly. How were you checking it every day?
Yes.
Yeah, every time you come home from school, are they still there? Oh God, thank God.
I would pick it up. And I would.
You can tell by the weight.
I would pet it. Yeah. There's only one throwing star.
We're 6 grams light here.
I know that these are ninja stars, but they shouldn't be disappearing. I think that's. Thank you. I think that's a good spot to stop. But
I agree.
I wish we would have stopped 5 minutes ago. So I'll bring the giant ass fucking sword in here. Also a gift from our older brother.
Yeah, it'd play well in here.
Yeah.
right next to the wolf.
Yeah, right next to the wolf. Let's get a metal detector and let's go find that thing this spring. We'll make it an investigative report.
Yeah.
where we go find the case of the missing throwing star.
It's gonna be like 4 seconds long.
That's
and
perfect.
Here we are. Oh, there it is. Hey, all right. See you later.
You know what I don't want it to be? Did you ever watch that show? What was it?
The one with Geraldo with the safe?
Well, yeah, there was that. That's what I don't want. But there was what's the Gold Island?
Oh,
Jesus
Oak
Christ.
Island.
Oak Island.
Yeah.
Oh my
Nope.
God.
Get out of here.
Unbelievable. We watched a whole season of that, maybe a season and a half.
I started watching it, but they'd already had 2 seasons out. And I watched like 2-3 episodes.
Yep.
I'm like, and there's a second season of this?
Yes.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm out.
How long did it go for? I want to say it's still going. Or just recently I'd heard that did they finally find? They have dug this entire island trying to find any, not just at this point we're looking for any gold. Is there just a speck of gold on this island?
Somebody lose their wedding ring out here. Please.
Yeah, so let's just hope it doesn't turn out like that. So
I don't think we're bringing in excavators if we don't find your ninja star.
oh yes, we are. We're finding this fucking thing, and then we're gifting it to a child.
As is, of course, the tradition.
All right, well, that's the podcast.
All right.
Thank you to Scott.
Yes.
Thank you to Gabriel
Thank
Johnson.
you, Dave. So much fun today.
Yeah, you guys are just the fucking worst. I hate you guys so much. Listen, a man. I am a man. I'm 40. And I decided, hey, maybe it's time to not have these things anymore. And I'm being made fun of for it.
Yes.
Uh-huh. You sure are.
I saw that coming. All right, well, fuck you. And we're done. You guys are so fucking stupid. First of all, of course I look like a fucking kid that had throwing stars. If there was ever a kid that you knew, I was the kid that had throwing stars. And yes, I had to hide them because my mom would have stole my throwing stars.
Or your brother.
Yeah, well, my brother did and then lost it. I'm more disappointed in the fact that you lost it. Like, I don't care if you threw it, but you know how many times I threw that fucking thing? Never once lost it.
I missed the tree. Went right past the tree and into the woods.
And then you couldn't find it.
I couldn't find it. It was like October. All the leaves had fallen off. It's under there. I would have needed a metal detector.
Plus, you were 13, and the level of searching for your brother's throwing star at 13 is, let's just hope he doesn't notice. And then I did.
Kinda.
Immediately. I noticed immediately.
Yeah, if you come home and you see me going like this in the woods, something's up. Immediately going to know there's only one thing you could possibly be looking for. That's a ninja star.
I hope that you were in my room like looking for porn. That's what I hope. You're like,
oh no, I was there
minute.
straight for the ninja stars.
And yet I'm the one being made fun of. Listen, I had cool shit, and you lost it.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.